Here at Lens Crackers, we can crack your fine, high-quality eyewear in less than an hour. Our trained technicians use only the best equipment to crack your fine quality eyewear. So remember, Lens Crackers, we can crack them in less than an hour. Second attempt. One. Blue's a lucky one.
3, 4, 5, 6.
This is a healthy competition going on here.
7, 8, 9.
You got 9? 10! Yay! You got it! A new world record! Yay! What do you have to say for yourself?
11.
Oh my God.
12.
12! 13!
14.
14!
15.
15!
15.
15! Now, what's your name again?
Alex Kraus.
Alex Kraus from...
Sturgeon, Maine.
Thank you, Alex Kraus. Welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going on a quest for truth together. Gosh, I had this there, my background a little bit lighter. I hope you're all having a wonderful Friday and a good week. It's Friday night and everything's right for the weekend. And I got the kids tonight. Alicia's working, and she no sooner left than Evan tossed his cookies. And he's got a fever, and it's not good. He's just right outside the door here in the living room. So I'm kind of watching Chloe on the monitor and listening to Evan. So lovely. Yeah, that's what happens. I hope that he gets better. I hate to see kids when they're sick. Well, I hope that you're all feeling very well, and it's a great day today, because today's the day that the Bob Lazar movie was released. S4, the Bob Lazar story. So I have not had a chance to check that out yet. I don't know when I will. When I will, I don't know. I know the story so well. I don't think I'm going to learn anything new, although it's going to be nice to see the visual representation of what he's been talking about all these years. Since 1988, 88 or 89. So this has been a long time coming. And so I'm really excited about it. I really do think that that was the first step in disclosure for this alien extraterrestrial thing. And we finally have a movie about it. So that's really, really good. And congratulations, Bob Lazar, for surviving all these years. And he's been hassled a lot by the authorities. It's not been fun for him. He wishes he never would have done this. But I am so glad that he did, because, it puts in perspective a lot of things. And it just shows you that what we know is not what the government knows. Yeah. And one thing that bothers me is all of these representatives. We have a representative republic. Okay. We elect people. They go to office in Congress and they find things out and tell us. Well, they're all being briefed on this UFO alien stuff, and they all say the same thing. I can't say anything. Why are you there? Why are you there? If you can't tell the people, isn't that your job? Someone please help me. I don't understand this. I don't know how that could be right in any kind of way. It's not. And that's what happens when there's a blockade on the truth. Well, speaking of the truth, let's go see who's spewing lots of truth out there in Chatlandia. We always have fun over there. Oh, don't we now? Alrighty, Aphrodite. Well, let's go check right now. And look, it's Catherine Weiss. That's Weiss123. She's one of our Ultramods. She says, hi, Aaron. And then she says, I'll be over on YouTube tonight. All right. We do need someone over there for sure. And then Kathy also says, hi, Peggy. And then I said, hi, Kathy. Okay. Because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. Kathy says, hi over there on YouTube. And then I said, hi to Kathy over there on YouTube. Oh, and look who else is here. Another one of our Ultramods, Cap 78 Pack, Peggy Dancer. She says, hello, Aaron. Hello, Weiss123, Kathy. I'm still having trouble connecting at YouTube, so I'm here as usual. And she gives a little heart. And then I said, hi, Peggy. Okay. And then Valeronian says, greetings, fellow Truth Questers. And I got verification from Valeronian that is our good friend Skylark. He apparently got a new computer and a new phone or something. And so that's his new name. It's the name of a planet from a science fiction book that he read. We should have guessed that, huh? Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Valeronian. Maybe that's where he's really from. And I said, hi, Valeronian. And then Valeronian says, hi, Catherine. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Aaron. You know, even though his name switched, we knew it was him because no one posts like Skylark does. Lots of very interesting posts. Lots of information. And Kathy says, hi, Valeronian. Then Cap 78 Pack joins in too, says, hello, Valeronian. And then Kathy says, hi, Aaron, over on the portrait channel, on the one for phones, I guess. And Kathy also puts this out. Please like and share this video with your friends, family, and social media. It helps the old algorithm, the algo beat, and the algo melody. Oh, yeah. It does all of those things. All of those algo things. So thanks, Kathy, for putting that out there. And then Cap 78 Pack Peggy Dancer says, oh, man, so sorry, Aaron. I hope Evan feels better and Chloe doesn't get it. Yeah, right? Seems it has to go through families a couple of times. Yeah. Hope I don't catch it, too. But, oh man. Yeah, he came back from daycare. He was sleeping in the car seat. And when Alicia brought him in, just put him down on the couch, and there's where he's been ever since. And I just feel so helpless. And he won't take the things I try to give him. So he's very, very stubborn. And thanks, Peggy. And Kathy says, hope Evan feels better soon. Thanks, Kathy. Me too. Valeronian, I remember when Bob Lazar's story was first published. Me too. As the interviews by Las Vegas TV reporter George Knapp. Yes, he's still around and he's still kicking it out there. And yeah, I really thought that was going to be the crack in the egg that made the whole chicken come out. But it didn't happen. This is how hard they want to keep it secret. And they'll go to any lengths, killing people and whatnot, which they've done. Valeronian says, it's hard to believe that so many years have passed since that time. I know, it seems like just yesterday. It really does. And I believed it from day one. And Yo Ladies, Fonska says, hi. A little wave there. Hello there. Good to see you here. And let's see. I remember George Knapp and Bob Lazar were guests on Coast to Coast late night radio show hosted by Art Bell. Yeah, I think I saw that one too. And then Yo Ladies says, gives a little heart. Oh, isn't that nice? And it looks like Jack Bourne is giving 3 waves. Hello, Jack. Good to see you here. Make sure to send this on out to your friends so we can all have fun here together. Pena Perspective. Hey, I know this guy. Howdy, Aaron. Been a while. Yeah, it sure has. Good to see you, buddy. That's awesome. Still down in South America? Isn't that where you are? Valeronian from E.E. Doc Smith, my favorite author from the so-called golden age of pulp magazine science fiction. Oh, look at all of the wavy hands Jack has given us now. Look at that. And Cap 78 Pack says, I believe it too, Aaron, and it's just aggravating that it keeps being held back. What the heck, right? I know. It's aggravating. That's different than aggravating. Aggravating is you grooving while you're waiting. But that's aggravating, don't you think? Well, alrighty, Aphrodite. Well, we're all caught up there. So let's go on over to Facebook. Let's go to Facebook. The land of suckers, we call it here. Oh, we got another one. Oh, and Pena Perspective says, hey, Aaron, I'm stateside now. All right. Welcome back, brother. That's pretty cool. That's cool as a moose. All righty then. So let's go on over to, where are we going? Oh, yeah. The land of Zuckers, where there's a Zucker born every minute over at Facebook, where they've banned me, then they let me back on, and all this crazy stuff. All this crazy stuff. Shenanigans. Shenanigans. And there it is. That's our thumbnail for tonight. That's someone's helmet. I can't remember what it's called. Someone's helmet. And it's a nebula, but it's a beautiful one. It looks very interdasting. Almost looks like parts of the inside of some animal or insect or something, doesn't it? Doesn't it? It looks like, hey, you know, right here, like eye there. Here's the snout, like a little teddy bear. Look at that. Maybe it's like a cosmic gummy bear. You think? Could be a cosmic gummy bear. Gummy bear. And Pena Perspective says, AI miss per alien stories. Yeah, there's so many of them now. Oh my goodness. And Valeronian says, one of the little green Traflamadorians there. Okay. Okay, okie dokie, Pinocchio. All right, well, that's number 753. Can you believe it? I can't even believe it. Oh, this is good. Trump is so funny. Remember this? I think this is the first Easter. Was it last year? Yeah. Check this out. This is so funny.
Do you remember the bunny with Joe Biden? Remember? You remember when the bunny took Joe Biden out? He's not taking Trump out. That was a beautiful moment when the bunny saved Joe Biden. You remember the bunny with Joe Biden? Remember? You remember when the bunny took Joe Biden out?
Oh gosh, we're never going to have a president this funny. I'm just saying. So freaking funny. Oh, here's some bat action. You did you think that Batman didn't know anything about ancient Egypt? Well, think again. Check this out. He's reading the scrolls even.
I know, hieroglyphics self-taught are a chore, Robin. But it's a surefire way to unravel the secrets of the ancient mystics.
You mean you've discovered what that moonstruck monarch is up to?
I fear so. Inscribed upon this ancient papyrus scroll is the chemical formula for Abu Rabu Simbu II.
Abu what?
Abu Rabu Simbu II. In more modern terms, CK to the second power plus OL to the ninth power equals KO to the third power plus 2CL to the fourth power.
CK to the second power? What kind of equation is that?
In the more modern lexicon of chemistry, one that has been obsolete for years because the most important ingredient is missing. Unavailable. Distilled essence of scarab links.
Holy corpuscles.
Yes. And this ingredient, combined with other elements in the chemical formula, produces a potion capable of paralyzing the human will.
Then Tut could put the whole of Gotham City under his power if he could make enough of the stuff.
And get it to the populace somehow.
But he only has a few resurrected scarabs.
Unfortunately, Robin, given the proper climatic conditions, scarabs are able to multiply 1,000-fold. Yes, Alfred.
Just come to report, sir. The talking sphinx will be on the lawn of Wayne Manor within hours.
Talking sphinx.
If you remember, Robin, last year Tut made his royal predictions through the Great Stone Sphinx, thus creating terror in the city.
Oh, of course. How could I have forgotten?
I recently heard that the Sphinx was being offered for sale.
Sold! Just when I was going to have need of her again. Who purchased my inscrutable lady?
Millionaire Bruce Wayne.
I might have known it. She is spiked! Just because I kidnapped him last year. What's he planning to do, make a reading lamp out of her?
Mr. Wayne has been quoted as saying he will donate this criminal curiosity to the Black Museum at Scotland Yard.
Black Museum? It's the Hall of Fame. Now I belong to the ages. Just think of it. Cheek to jowl with such great ones of crime as Landru, Jack the Ripper, Lizzie Borden.
And the Lavender Hill Mob?
Yes. No! I need my unfathomable female here and now for my royal predictions. After I'm crowned king of Gotham City, we can think about the Black Museum.
Oh, we didn't think of it, your kingship, Mr.
I know it, Sethos! But Mr. Bruce Wayne may have second thoughts coming very shortly. When night descends on Wayne Manor, you too will descend and pinch my sphinx.
Quietly. There's only one light in the house. Upstairs. I don't think anyone's home. Sure. This sphinx bench is a cinch. Push.
Well, Alfred, it looks like my young ward and I are going fishing again. For the big one. I know, hieroglyphics self-taught are a chore, Robin.
So much drama. Oh my. Back in 66, 67, and 68. Nothing better. And it was on TV. We were so lucky. Ed Dames has passed away. The famous remote viewer, and also the one that instructed Andy and the other Mars Jump Room people in the Mars Jump Room program, which was run by Howard Hughes, who was officially dead at the time, but somehow he was heading up that division did DARPA go back in time and bring him when he was still alive, or did he fake his death? But Edward Dames always said that no, he did not teach that class. He was very adamant about it, but they do mind wipes, or maybe there was a clone, but he and the others swore up and down it was Ed Dames that taught them. So there you go. I think Andy even mentioned the woman he was dating at the time. Oh, and it looks like Dark Brain is here. Look at that. Why, it's Dark Brain, another one of our Ultramods. Good evening, Aaron. Well, good evening to you, buddy. And then Dark Brain says, greetings, Catherine. Then Kathy says, hi, Dark Brain. The Dark Brain says, happy Good Friday. Yes, it's Good Friday, isn't it? And then Valeronian says, Mr. Dames was nicknamed Dr. Doom because of his dire predictions. Yeah. Yes. And then Cap 78 Pack says, man, so many truthers are passing on. Sad when their intelligence needs to be brought forth. Yes. And Valeronian says, he used to regularly appear on Coast to Coast radio also. Yes. The only thing he could really talk about was remote viewing. But yeah, he never admitted that he taught Andy and his fellow classmates at the College of Siskiyous over there in Weed, California, to prepare to go to Mars. Even Barack Obama was there too, Barry Soetoro. Yeah. And then Cap 78 Pack, hi, Dark Brain over on YouTube. Oh, is that where he is? I better go say hi to him over there. And my keyboard is still working. However, all day today, it wasn't working this morning. And then right before the show, all of a sudden started working. So I'm very grateful. Very grateful for that. And so there's that. Wait, go back here. And Dark Brain says, Cap 78 Pack, howdy, sister. Happy Good Friday. And Dark Brain Valeronian, greetings and welcome. Oh, and Dark Brain, he's over on, let me check. Something happened here. He gifted a subscription to Truth Quest with Aaron Moriarty. Well, thank you very much, my friend. It comes up as blank. I don't know why. It just doesn't feed in. But it says, gifted one subscription to Truth Quest with Aaron Moriarty. Thank you very much, Dark Brain. And Valeronian says, well, I really can't remember very clearly. Dr. Doom was either Edward Dames or Courtney Brown. Oh. Okay. Then I said, hi, Dark Brain. Valeronian says, hello, Dark Brain. Cap 78 Pack says, happy Good Friday, Dark Brain. I'm still having trouble with my YouTube and mail connections. Ugh. And then Valeronian says he was gifted a membership by Dark Brain. Awesome. That's great. Thank you, Dark Brain. And Cap 78 Pack says, nice, Dark Brain. Thank you at DA. And I can just click it. 3 exclamation points for that. All righty. And Kathy says, Valeronian is Skylark, Dark Brain. That's right. He's got a new alias. Then I said, thank you, Dark Brain. All right. Well, sad that Ed Dames passed on. I wish he would have admitted that he did teach Andy. Maybe he did in his deathbed. I haven't heard anything. But they probably wouldn't let him. Oh, here's a good little video to see before Easter Sunday. You know, I stopped eating any kind of packaged candy, like for Halloween or anything, or because it's crap. It's all crap. And this guy talks about this one you would think wouldn't be crap, but it is crap. It's all crap. Check it out.
After what I just learned, I am never letting my baby girl eat another Cadbury bunny. Lab-grown chocolate is now a thing. Oreo, Cadbury, and Toblerone are already funding overseas biotech companies producing it because lab is cheaper than farm-grown always. My daughter got a Cadbury egg in her basket last year. I looked at the ingredients and immediately threw it away, which is exactly what you should do. That dairy milk isn't even legal chocolate in 27 countries. The cocoa butter was replaced with vegetable fat, a cheap blend of 6 industrial seed oils. That's right. Then they dilute it with polyglycerol, flavor it with petroleum-derived vanilla to mask the waxy taste, and wrap it in foil. Real chocolate, 100% cacao, is loaded with polyphenols, magnesium, and antioxidants. It's literally medicine. But the second you replace it with seed oils and synthetic flavors, you turn it into poison. This Easter, skip the bunny. After what I just learned, I am never letting my baby girl eat another Cadbury bunny. Lab-grown chocolate is now a thing. Oreo, Cadbury, and Toblerone are already funding overseas biotech companies producing it because lab is cheaper than farm-grown always. My daughter...
Ugh, sorry about that. It wouldn't let me turn it off. Oh, and you're wondering about this Artemis mission to the moon. Well, here is a little diagram that shows you exactly how they're going to be doing this. Oh. It looks like Wolf Girl Gamer says, I love chocolate. And then Wolf Girl Gamer says, I can make my own chocolate. Yes, I just learned that too. It's fun to make your own chocolate. And Darkbrain says, I wonder what Aaron thinks of the new Artemis space voyage. Totally legit, fake or gay, somewhere in the middle. Well, you know, unlike the original moon missions, we do now have adequate technology to completely fake all the visuals, whereas in the past we didn't. And and they're not going to land and leave anything there. So there's really no way to verify it unless we, like on our last show, I said maybe we should put our own balloon with a couple of GoPros on it to see if we can catch a glimpse of it, to see if it really is up there. But who knows? I know that people are, I saw a story, this woman showed this picture of Earth that Artemis allegedly took and gave it to Grok, and Grok said, "Oh, this has been manipulated." But I think that a lot of these AI programs, if they know your personality, if they know that you question everything, the answers are going to lean that way. And so that's why it's really a dangerous trap to fall into, to believe everything an AI tells you, because you're feeding it what it needs to keep you pressing the button. Yeah, it's not ideal yet. I maybe never will be. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about it. We do have the technology to fake it, but I think we also do have the technology to do it, which we did back then too. Here it goes. Let's watch this. It's going to go right around it. Come right back. It's not even going to go around it a couple times. But it's going through the Van Allen belt twice. I mean, we made it through Van Allen belt before. I mean, it's not a hard thing to do. Some people get hung up on that. They make all these, oh, this proves something. You know, it doesn't prove anything. That's not. Spooky music behind it. How do you like that? Representative Anna Paulina Luna, this is a major move for transparency. We are demanding answers. What are they hiding? April 4th. Luna sets April 4th deadline for 46 UAP videos. Okay. Videos. See, here's the problem with this recent disclosure. They started this agency to look at, talk to pilots to see something. I think it was started like 2007 or something, maybe a little after that. And because they're never, the people who own all of this technology, who the upper crusties that will not let anyone know that there's extraterrestrials and they have all this technology that they're reverse engineering, they're never going to give it up. So they said, okay, let's make our own little investigative thing and then release all that. That's all they can ever do. They're never going to be able to release like the Roswell stuff. Unless I'm completely wrong on that. We'll have to see. We will have to see. And Valeronian says, the government cannot prevent you from setting up your own tracking facility. Unfortunately, that is very expensive. Right? And he also says, Valeronian, the first unmanned probe to the moon, the Soviet Luna 1 and later the Luna 2, released a sodium cloud while in transit to aid optical tracking of the probe. Interesting. I don't know why other space projects cannot do the same thing. That's a really interesting, maybe they got just better tracking now. That's a kind of a brilliant idea if you think about it. Hey, we're just going to be a little speck. Maybe we can make it bigger by poofing out some salt or something. Interesting. Sodium. Very interesting. And here's that picture. And now the reason it might look kind of funny is because the sun is behind it. And so we're looking at the dark side of the Earth. They adjusted the camera so they could pick up all of the color that they could to make it look like this. Now, right here, they say it's a reflection of a window inside the craft. But some people say this is fake. Grok apparently says, no, it's not just a picture taken out the back window. So who knows? Who knows? Nobody knows. No clue, Mr. Magoo. So it's just some other things to argue about. Donald J. Trump. Donald Trump truthed this out. Look at this. A man using a different name swore on a Bible he doesn't believe in and betrayed a country he wasn't born in. Yeah. Hopefully this new AG will be able to arrest some people who clearly need to be arrested. And here it is. This is Thor's helmet. Thor's helmet. Look at that. Good old Thor, our buddy Thor. There's his helmet right there. Well, there's where he left it. It's out in outer space. Gotta go get that thing. Oh. And Valeronian also says, in Robert A. Heinlein's novel, The Man Who Sold the Moon, the first man to land on the moon carried a bag of aluminum glitter powder, which he spread on the ground at the landing site to create a visible X marks the spot to prove to anyone that he really had landed on the moon. Why couldn't a real life astronaut do the same thing? Good question. I think that's a great idea. That is a great idea. Oh, Valeronian also says, interesting. I had never heard of Thor's helmet. Was this named after the Marvel comic? Probably, or the god Thor. Isn't that a Nordic god? I'm not sure. Isn't that beautiful though? Look at that. It's gorgeous. I like it. Oh, Lights Camera Conspiracy put this out. This is why billionaire John McAfee was suicided. Listen to this.
When I went on the run in Belize, I had friends in the U.S. Embassy in Belize. I knew what was coming down. I'm not stupid. I had arranged with the head of security. I was going to come in. He said, sir, we have it from the highest authority. We're not to allow you entry into the U.S. Embassy. Understand me. Who was the highest authority of the State Department? Hillary Clinton. I'm an American citizen with a f***ing American passport. I'm sorry. I'm not wanted in America. I've got no crimes in America. Is it not a reason to say, I don't think I'm going to vote for you?
And yet you're here now.
For a month and a half, I was on the run. The reason that the government wanted to collect me was that after they had raided my property in 2012 in the jungle, shot my dog, abused me, destroyed $500,000 worth of my property over a bogus charge, I was pissed off. And so I donated to many secretaries within the government laptop computers, really nice ones that were preloaded with viral spyware. Within a week, the entire government computer system was under my control. I was watching, monitoring, listening. I was looking for information that they had set me up for that raid. I didn't find that. I did find out that the Minister of National Defense was the largest drug trafficker in all of Central America. And the Minister of Immigration, the largest human trafficker.
Well, we don't want to get killed by them either, so we're probably not going to share that.
That's fine. When I went on the run in Belize, I had friends in the U.S.
Yeah, and Valeronian says, another narrative says John McAfee was a real-life Q. Well, Q was more than one person. Maybe he was one of them. But it was less than 10, 3 civilians, and the rest military intelligence or retired military intelligence. So it's not just one guy. It's less than 10. 3 were civilians. The rest were government people, former government people. Donald Trump, truth this out. Vice President J.D. Vance is now in charge of fraud in the United States. It is massive and pervasive. And the job he will be doing in conjunction with many great people within the Trump administration will be a great factor in how great the future of our country will be. We can call him the fraud czar. Fraud czar. Frog czar. And his focus will be everywhere, but primarily in those blue states where crooked Democrat politicians like those in California, Illinois, Minnesota, Somalia, beware, Maine, New York, and many others have had a free-for-all in the unprecedented theft of taxpayer money. The numbers are so large that if successful, we would literally be able to balance our American budget. Raids have already started in LA. Good luck, JD. Yes, Dan Bongino put that up. Frauds are. I hope they do make it. Oh, and here's a 2-year bump. Dustin Schuda shared this out 2 years ago. I was on Dustin Schuda's Flying Chariots, the Rise podcast with our good friend Heidi Pop. And so that was a lot of fun. Let's go check that out. Oh, look, I'm wearing one of my little button-ons with my guitar shirt. I like that. Oh, and Heidi Pop liked that. Oh, look at this. My grandkids are going to love this. Meet Wally and Eve. Check this out. Isn't that cute? Pretty cute. The end of human trafficking, no more corruption, the evil cabal is finished, save the children worldwide. Look at that. That's got to get that whole graphic in there. Oops. Look at that from Michelle and Anthony. I like that. That's a great picture. Oh, I love this. I remember hearing this years ago. If I ran NASA, it would be mandatory for the ground crew to be dressed as apes when the space shuttle lands, or when any spaceship lands. Yeah, wouldn't that be funny? Oh my God, we took a wrong turn. And look at this. Big Balls is there with Nick Shirley. Two young men who have done more for the country at 20 years old than most career politicians. True. That's awesome. Two groundbreakers there. Oh, coffee was just voted the best drink in the nation. It was an unfair vote. There were absentee ballots. Absentee ballots. Yeah, so, but look at that. Amish children named the world's healthiest kids after avoiding big pharma vaccines. That's the reason. And one of my friends put out a post that said, oh, finally, we found the reason for autism. They said, oh, it's something in the atmosphere. It's like, oh my God. Oh, is that why only vaccinated kids get it? Really? The atmosphere is that selective? No, it can't be. It can't be. Oh, how to set up the shoot pack. Oh, look at this. Some vintage Hot Wheels track gear. Check this out. The shoot pack, always a popular favorite.
Hi, welcome back to Redline Race Day. Today, I'm going to set up the shoot pack accessory. Connect the drag chute trap to the track. Place the drag chute and all the string into the trap. Place the harness on the V. Then close the trap. Now that that's done, let's race it.
Look at that. Just
Hi, welcome back to Redline Race Day. Today, I'm going to set up the...
Too cool for school. Oh, yeah. Why would you want to go to school? Stay home and play Hot Wheels all day, right? Polymarket. Breaking. Senator Babbitt announces, you'd be very surprised who's not entirely human, but says he can't disclose more because the alien hybrid program is classified. Margie Long. Thanks, Margie, for putting that out there. How do you like that? So much stuff is sort of almost coming out. First Lady Melania Trump advances efforts in fourth Ukraine-Russia child reunification. Isn't that lovely? She's going to stop the war. Look at that. And here is Ed Big Daddy Roth with the Beatnik Bandit, one of his creations, the Beatnik Bandit. Great car. He built the best show cars, and my brother owned many of them. Actually, several of them. And this is a Destination Sturgeon Bay, a Throwback Thursday. This was the neighborhood pub and grill here in Sturgeon Bay that doesn't exist anymore. And it's really too bad. They had really good food there. It was like a food, like a pub you could get food at. And the food was really good. I don't drink, so I went there for the food. And the owner was always sprucing up the place. It always looked really nice, clean. He was a great guy, and the chef was really good. Sad. Now they got a CVS there. I never go in there. And did you hear this? Tina Peters appeals court tosses out Tina Peters' 9-year prison sentence. Said trial judge violated First Amendment rights. They darn well better say time served, or there is no justice in the world. This poor woman's been in jail for 2 years now. She's a Gold Star mother. She's got cancer. She's 70, and she shouldn't be in jail. All she did was uncover corruption, Democrat corruption in the election, and they made an example out of her. So sad. So sad. It's never right to use lawfare like that. Oh, this is great. Now, I don't know if this is in England or in Australia, but it's absolutely hilarious. We're not going to watch the whole thing, but this is so crazy. This is so funny. So they got these soapbox derbies there. Check it out.
These are the 100 craziest Red Bull soapbox race crashers of all time. How far will this one get?
Still looking quick though, but it seems to be difficult to hold, doesn't it, in line? Next up we've got the apples and pears, and it's side to side through there. Over the apples and pears, bounce, 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 the wheels come off, skidding down the track. Now he's got to get through the chicane. He's actually got to reach the chicane. Through the chicane we go. Fantastic driving here to actually keep it upright. Down we go towards the kicker. Over the kicker. Oh, it's flipped it over the kicker. Got so far down with just 3 wheels and then lands on the roof. I'm delighted to say that he's in one piece.
So Beehive Bandits, Chandler and Jesse, Ben, Will and Chris, the rest of the team. Thousands here today in Salt Lake City. Over the rock garden. Jesse kneeling down at the back. Swings round the corner, approaching the triple sticky wedges. Difficult. Oh, bouncing through there. Spectacular. Front wheels have gone. Soapbox has gone. Chandler and Jesse have gone. They went over the triple sticky wedges on the 2 back wheels. Look at that. Brilliant. What a shot. But after that, there was no way back because the front wheel's gone. It's caved in at the axle point there. It rolls over, and they won't finish today, the Beehive Bandits. If it gets dark, we won't lose these guys, will we? So off they go, with slightly bigger wheels at the back than we see at the front. And already maybe 1 or 2 signs it's not that easy to control. He's very high, the driver, and he just went up onto 2 wheels there. Over Dutch Mountains. Oh, the head's gone. Oh, he's gone. He's completely gone. Nobody can steer. Oh, he's into the crowd. What a spectacular ending that one. There's the driver. That's where he comes to grief. He's gone at this point. Can't hold on. Now, the poor fellow in the back can't do anything about it but fly over the barriers and into the crowd as well. Now we've got Ballet Boys. They're going to need a decent run. They're going to need plenty of speed. Here's the big kicker. Look how it narrows straight after. Oh, the back wheels have gone. The axle couldn't handle it, and he couldn't handle the wheel either. It puts so much stress on the soapbox because you're coming down fast, you take off, you get good air, and then the soapbox needs to be strong enough to take it. On this case, Ballet Boys couldn't do it. Axle goes. So now we've got the green machine. There goes Green Machine with lots and lots of speed at the top, but there's no surprise there. I'm not quite sure where he can see. Oh, there he is, just through that dark window there. Flying down. Really good run at the top. Got through the difficult bit. Now, can he keep some speed towards the bottom? Oh, he's got at the berm. Just thought he was going to get around the berm there. And
we're going to skip around here.
Shaking up the plumbing van as it goes. Copper Top Micro still going. And they've got the berm to come in a second. And they've got very little left of the back of the soapbox. Here's the berm, and they're going to take it out low. They managed to keep it quick through there. It's quite quick, this. Still over that little hump there. Around Crash Corner, around Crash Corner. Oh, around Crash Corner. You can see it coming, couldn't you? The minute that little wheel started to... There he is. Down they go. Off towards the first jump. Over safely, picking up speed all the time. Now the chicane is next. No problems through there either. Starting to enjoy it, starting to get the crowd involved. Can they get down this course 500 meters through the obstacles unscathed? They're getting quicker and quicker all the time. Just starting to maybe wobble slightly. Over the jump they go. Got to keep it together here. Oh, they've lost it, and they've gone out front first. The nose of the soapbox went straight into the track, and out they went. Spectacular crash. Wow, look at that. A Keepy Tron. It's inspired by the movie Tron.
This is good.
And just look how magnificent this is. Marcio on one side, Dennis on the other, over the first obstacle, and it's working to this point. Whether it stays joined up remains to be seen. They're okay through the chicane. There's the bone rattler, just a little touch on the way down. Now the water. Oh, the water feature! It's absolutely obliterated the soapbox. There's nothing left of it. Look at that. Nose diving into the tarmac. It's smashed to smithereens in Sao Paulo. Fast food, low friction from Long Beach. So one wheel at the front, two at the back, the tricycle, and Sean hanging on at the back and trying to get his weight into the corners to help the soapbox get around them. Straight on through the chicane. There's the onboard shot. There's the condiments if you need them. Oh, he's lost it there. Wow, look at that. There was no way they could save that. Watch this around here. He's going so fast that then the back end skid. Parejo's team, they said we're going to go for it all. We hope to set the bar very high. So they've given themselves lofty expectations. This one's got quite sturdy wheels and quite strong axles by the look of it as well, so it should be okay. Smoke billowing out from behind. Victor's got to roar through the water there. That was spectacular. He loved that, Victor. Look at his little face. Down we go. Moving towards the whale tail. Over the whale. Oh, look at that. Whoa. So much speed into the whale tail. Nose first. Victor on the tarmac. Look at this. Height. Bang! Look at that. Straight into the front of the whale tail and he's out. Spectacular.
He's out.
So down they go. Looks very, very flimsy around the tube. Oh, look at that. They went straight left off the start ramp initially. Never got to the...
All right. We could go on forever with that, but there it is. So funny. So much fun. And you know what? The announcers are brilliant in this. They're really awesome. Oh, and I can see that Cap 78 Pack thinks the same thing too. Look at that. Oh, look, Jerry Lahane's here. Look, good to see you, Jerry Lahane. Run by the police. So boring. Oh, it is? I didn't know that. Andrew Gold, Heretics. Sean Atwood reveals the dark truth about Bill Clinton. You think we already know about the dark truth about Bill Clinton, but if you don't know, check it out.
And I researched the hell out of the Clinton crime family, and that's what led me to Epstein. So he was a serial Washington CIA conspiracies, and I researched the hell out of the Clinton crime family, and that's what led me to Epstein. So he was a serial rapist and cokehead going back to when he was the governor of Arkansas, and it was the CIA. They wanted the sleaziest, most corrupt governor to choose that state to smuggle the white powder in from South America to finance these wars against the communists in Nicaragua. And Bill Clinton provided the state security for the drug drops. And his own brother, half-brother, Roger Clinton, was busted buying coke from an undercover cop and recorded saying, some of this is for Bill. He's got a nose like a vacuum cleaner. And that cop knew if he didn't out that arrest really quickly, it would all get covered up. So they put Roger Clinton in prison to show that no one is above the law and the Clintons are moral, upstanding pillars of the community. Meanwhile, he's got multiple allegations of women, sexual assaults, and Hillary Clinton tracked a lot of these women down with private investigators, threatened their lives. Pets were murdered. People were thrown off balconies. And this is the genesis of the hashtag Clinton body count. They had a coroner, Fahmy Malek, who, when Bill's mum had accidentally unalived someone when she was working in the medical profession, Fahmy Malek had come in and he adjusted the cause of death. So Bill Clinton owed him for the rest of his life. And Fahmy Malek would come in, and if you had been shot in the head, or if someone had strangled you, he would say that you drowned in a swimming pool. I've done a whole chapter on those in Clinton, Bush, and CIA conspiracies. So I've written a book, Clinton, Bush, and CIA conspiracies, and I researched the hell out of the Clinton crime.
There you go. Oops. Very interesting, huh? He seems pretty amused by it. And here's the timeline for the Artemis missions, that 10-day mission. So that toilet started acting up right away, didn't it?
This is the timeline of the Artemis II mission. It starts with liftoff, day 1. when the rocket leaves Earth and places Orion into orbit. Over the next 2 days, the crew stays close to Earth, checking every system before going deeper. Then comes a powerful push, translunar injection, sending them toward the moon. As days 3 and 4 pass, they drift through deep space, watching Earth fade away. By day 5, the moon's gravity takes over. On day 6, they fly past it, closer than humans have been in decades. Then they swing around and head home. After a few days returning through space, day 10 ends with a fiery re-entry and splashdown in the ocean. A full journey around the moon and back.
Okay, there it is. Is it real or is it Memorex? We just don't know. No clue, Mr. Magoo. 3-year bump. Arrest Hunter and Joe. Yes. 3 years ago, I posted this, locked them up. There are 459 potential crimes documented in the Biden laptop. 140 business crimes, 191 sexual crimes, 128 narcotics crimes. Yet the media has ignored it, and the FBI has done little more than conceal the evidence behind the veil of an active investigation. Two-tier justice system. Yeah, and Pam Bondi didn't do anything about it. And you cannot pardon someone, give them a blanket pardon for something they haven't been charged for. So you can't do that. I don't think you can. Artemis, first image from the edge of space. Okay, there it is. Donald J. Trump, we are the only country in the world stupid enough to allow birthright citizenship. President Donald J. Trump. He's right. And look at these curious things on Mars. I think we talked about this before. Mars Curiosity rover, following the legendary footsteps of explorers like Opportunity rover, captured something truly magical in the Martian sky. Rare fluorescent clouds. Look at that. Look at that. That cloud right there reminds me of that city in Montana. It's a real beaut. Beaut. It's a beaut. It's a beaut. Oh, yeah. Joel Polak. Daily presidential schedules. Obama gives one big speech, plays around with golf. Biden calls a lid at 9:30, goes to sleep. Trump attends oral argument at SCOTUS, watches rocket ship leave for the moon, delivers Oval Office address on major war, bunch of other stuff. Yeah, right. He's so Johnny on the spot. So Johnny on the spot. He really is. And there's our last show. So that's going to bring us right back to here. Oh, there we are. Aren't we now? All righty, Aphrodite. And so now we're going to go over to X. And I saw a video on X. I shared it. We're going to see it. It's very interesting. Very interdasting, you might even say. Okay, here we go. Alrighty then, here we are on X, and there's the show tonight. 7:53, can you believe it? Joe Rogan has Bob Lazar back on, and isn't that lovely? Why did that do that? Oops. Okay, Joe Rogan. Let's listen to this. Oh, come on.
So when you're first introduced to this craft, and you see this dome,
the reactor
that's covering this thing that's generating this power, what was the introduction to it? How did they explain it to you?
The introduction was way before me. And that's where the guy prior to me either got hurt or killed. So they determined that this was the power source. And at some point, they decided to take that out to the nuclear test site because they wanted to cut into it. They x-rayed it. they only found a small tube that went around it. They really couldn't determine how it worked or what was going on. So at some point, and Barry made this somewhat clear, that they cut into the reactor while it was running, or while it was under load, I should say, and the reactor exploded. That's what killed or hurt the person that I replaced. But it produced the base gravitational wave or base energy that propelled the craft, that provided the craft the propulsion. I mean, when they removed it, the craft didn't work. When they put it in, every single other craft they found had something either exactly like it or similar to it. So they determined that was the power source. That's at the point that I was introduced into the project.
So when you say gravitational wave, is that for lack of a better term, or is it something that's measured? Is it?
No, it's for lack of a better term. Like there's nothing. I mean, as I said in Luigi's movie, you can take magnets with like poles and push them together and they repel, but you can't take your hands ever and push on something and they repel them. That's a force field, right? That's science fiction stuff. But that's what this did. And this produced a field that repelled the craft from the ground.
Did you try to touch it?
Yeah.
And when you try to touch
on
it, what did you feel?
An elastic field. You can push down, but you can't get close to it. The closer you get to it, the more it pushes back. So you can.
Like how much distance between you and the actual thing were you able to achieve?
I would say about
6 inches or so.
Maybe about 9 inches, which is about a span. And no, it's at some point you can't push back on it at all. But the important thing is, if you have a magnet, a little disc magnet sitting on the ground, and you have another magnet and you push on it, that magnet moves away, right?
Yeah.
Because it's pushing on it. But the craft didn't. The reactor didn't. If you had the reactor there and you pushed back on it, it didn't push away when you pushed on it.
It just prevented you from touching it.
Yeah, and so when Dennis said go out there and look under the craft, here's the craft, whatever it weighs, suspending itself above the ground, and I went underneath it. You would think it's translating its weight onto the ground and pushing, and I should be
squashed
without any doubt, but I'm not. There's no feeling there at all. So it's not translating its weight or its push to the ground and pushing off the ground. It's just canceling out its weight, which is something completely different.
And so element 115, so you have it in this triangle shaped form. Did you ask how they got into a triangle shaped form? Was it made like this? This is how it came
I'm
in the
sure
reactor?
I did, but I mean, it only worked like that. It worked like a stack of discs and had to be cut at a certain angle to work in the reactor. And
did they say they cut it, or did they say it was already cut?
Well, it was already cut and they were duplicating it.
Pull that microphone up too. So they were duplicating it. Did they have more of it, this element?
Yeah, they had quite a bit of it. So either there was a quantity in other crafts or other reactors that they removed. Yeah.
Wow. Or they made it themselves with their own centrifuge. I don't know. Yeah, very interesting. Such a fascinating story. Here's another fascinating story. Check this out. Start over. Isn't that cute? Birds are so cute. And look at this. Electric propulsive spacecraft. This needs repeating. Lightning is the result of stochastic electrostatic imbalances between two corpuscle solution-like gas bodies generating friction as they collide. Lightning is showing mankind an easy path towards free electricity, no fuel electricity. And this is from it's a TMB spaceships. And this is McCasland. This is McCasland. This is his page, apparently, according to this other video, which we're going to see. But yeah, so is this AI generated rendering, or is this an actual thing? Was he putting out? See, his Twitter is still up. So if this is his Twitter, here's some more things from his Twitter. Chapter 3, Magnesonic Waves, Shocks, and Solutions. Look at that. Shock waves in collisionless plasmas. And Bob Lazar just, we're not going to watch this whole thing. We already watched some of this interview. We're going to, oh, did you notice Joe Rogan has his, this is Betty and Barney Hill on his shirt. It's pretty funny. Look at this. Just an egret surfing the waves on a board it found. That. You got a propulsion idea right there. Look at that. He's riding the wave. And look at this. This is NASA Apollo 14 astronaut Edgar Mitchell. Yes, there have been extraterrestrial visitations.
And there is some...
He's actually from Roswell. Did you know that?
There have been ET visitation. There have been crashed craft. There have been material and bodies recovered. And there is some group of people somewhere that may or may not be associated with government at this point, but certainly were at one time, that have this knowledge and have been attempting to conceal this knowledge or not permit it to be widely disseminated. There have been ET visitation. There have been...
He was great. Look at this. Either these dudes faked the moon landing or they saw an unexplained Schmidt while they were up there. They saw unexplained Schmidt. Look at them. They were told not to talk about what they saw, and they're just holding it back. If I say something, they told me they were doing that, so I can't say anything. I saw 6 gigantic spacecraft covering a super crater as they landed. Talk about it. And you can tell. Oh, disclosure party. The Pentagon's UFO office, AARO, which is Aaron without the N, AARO, said they can't share evidence of aliens without getting permission. The decision is yours, Secretary of War. Make history. Yeah, tell them they can release it. I don't think anyone, I think the people they listen to are people that we don't know. Here's Joe Rogan discussing Tim Burchett's statement that his recent classified UFO briefing would set the Earth on fire. And he gets, here's another Bob Lazar. We're just going to skip that. And here is Nick Shirley and Big Balls. Let's listen to this.
We've talked about Elon a lot in this episode, but I feel like the reason why is because he's one of the most powerful people, the richest person in the world, who's in the same fight.
That's very rare, by the way. Like you look at the rest of the billionaires list, they just don't care.
It's pretty crazy.
What's the number one thing you've learned from Elon Musk?
Ooh, there's so many good things I've learned. There's just, being around him and working for him, you pick up on so many kind of nuanced things about how to manage things, how to build things. But if I was to distill it all into one point, it's that you've got to do what you think is right. That's the biggest thing about Elon. Like, Elon is the guy who's willing to sit there and contradict everyone when he is convicted that something is right. And I think it's the number one takeaway from working with Elon, and the number one thing that I think you can't take away from anyone is someone is in, like, they are just hardcore in pursuit of the truth. They're trying to find the truth, because the only way that we can go out and make these things better is to really, be super hardcore about finding what the truth is first. So I think if I was to distill the Elon mindset into one thing, it would be truth maxing. Just really, really go try to find the truth about a specific topic and then go very deep into it. That's the way that he works.
Go questing for the truth, in other words, like we're doing, aren't we? And look at this. This is so spectacular. Elon Musk. Amazing. Crazy. So precise. Here's that video where I learned about General Neil McCasland. Let's listen to this. This is very interesting.
Major General Neil McCasland left an open book on X, and no one is reading his tweets. Think about who this man is. He didn't just work for the Air Force. He ran the Air Force Research Lab. He was the gatekeeper for Pentagon's most sensitive special access programs. Then on February 27th, he walks out his New Mexico home and just vanishes. 10 days before he disappeared, the military pulled a massive PR stunt called Operation Windlord. They used C-17s to transport micronuclear reactors across the country. The news calls it clean energy revolution, but McCasland, he posted one word: idiocracy. He was trying to tell us that while they're disclosing micronukes to the plebs, they are hiding the discovery that makes nuclear power look like a campfire. McCasland wrote that electricity can be for free. He explained that a lightning bolt isn't just weather. It's a nonlinear discharge of an adiabatic field that is always flowing around us. He's talking about tapping into the Earth's own magnetosphere. He's telling us that this energy crisis is manufactured lie to keep us all paying for the fuel while the government harvests the sky for free. He goes deeper. He talks about the 2DOF lattice, a forbidden state of physics where mass loses its grip on reality. He says if you sink an ion and an electron wave at a macroscopic interface, you don't take off with engines. You float away. No inertia, no G-forces. It's the technology he was overseeing before he was unplugged. This explains why we see a craft making 90-degree turns that should liquefy a human pilot. And here is the something dark part. McCasland is just one of the 9 top-level American scientists who have disappeared or died in the last year. Most were tied to the Air Force Research Lab. In the 3 addresses yesterday by Trump, Starmer, and Albanese talked about national resiliency and fuel fines. They want us scared and dependent on their grid. McCasland's open book is the only thing standing between us and an engineered dark age. Do your research yourself. His X account is still up.
It is. And, well, you know what? Why don't we go over there right now? His X account is still up. And I got it up too. So let's go check it out. If this is really his, now it doesn't say McCasland, it says TMB spaceships. Okay. Electric propulsive spacecraft systems. Experienced, retired 38-year active duty U.S. Air Force, PhD engineer. Well, I guess you could probably figure out that it's him. Joined in 2022. Here he talks about on one side of a hummingbird's wing, along the span of the first quarter of the wings cord on the one side of the wing, we'll call it the top, we find a zone of high pressure swelling upward, and then a moderate vacuum along remaining 3/4 of the upper wing cord. So he's talking about the physics of how these amazing little birds with little teeny wings can actually fly. And that's very interesting. He pinned this. This is pinned. So it's a very important research that he did. And go check it out. It's still up there. So generate small local field, high voltage gap, geometrically placed, allowing sustained dwell time in gap. Okay. Muon catalyzed fusion and fusion with polarized nuclei. This guy was into some awesome cutting edge stuff. Electroacoustic waves in presence of polarization force. Glow discharge hydrogenated amorphous silicon. And magnetic stochasticity in magnetically confined fusion plasmas. Nuclear dimensional scale. So many things here. I can't read, that's too small. Oh, this is interesting. Springer briefs in electrical and computer engineering. Willemite-based glass, ceramic doped by different percentage of erbium oxide and sintered in temperature of 500 to 1,100 Celsius. Physical and optical properties. Resonating valence bond theory. It would take a while just to understand some of this stuff, or try to. But look at this crazy drawing he's got here. You must increase the static thermal kinetic field with local anabiotic plasma charge to make it pumpable. Making it pumpable is similar to thermal ionic heating of the incandescent Theora wire in vacuum tubes. Interesting. Shock waves in collisionless plasmas. Plasma is really interesting. And he goes on and on. There's just so much here. And look at this. Error in posts are purposeful. If for no other reason to piss off the first level critical thinkers, whom are smug semanticists. FOD, plug the smugly semanticist. And he talks about truncated word study list for anti-gravity studies. Here's a bunch of words to study if you're looking at anti-gravity. You know, they talk a lot about anti-gravity, but when are they going to bring up uncly gravity? Anti and uncly. I think that's my little 2 cents. False vacuum. Stability in fields and systems. Kelvin Helmholtz instability. And look at stuff like this. It's like, well, what is this? Boo poo two. All right. I don't know what that is. He goes on. And let's see. It's just so much here. I mean, you could spend a lot of time on this. I'm trying to get to this other thing right here. Check this out. This need repeating. Lightning is the result of, we said it already. So this thing is painted. Where is that description? Maybe it's not with that. Anyway, so it's very interesting. Go check it out yourself. It's, go back up to the top here, and it's all in caps, TMB Spaceships, at TMB Spaceships. Uh-oh. So that's that. And I might have to go. Looks like Chloe's getting up. Share screen. Let's get back over to X, where we left off. Tim Burchett. You might have heard this. Check.
Roswell, Area 51, Wright-Patterson down in Dayton, my home state of Ohio. We've been hearing about this stuff now for 70 years. That we have it, we don't have it. That we've re-engineered it, no, we haven't. I know you can't talk about much because you're an active member, but just give me a wink. Are we alone?
No, we're not. We're not.
Holy, wait a minute. Did I just, guys, did we just break that? Wait a minute. Is that April Fool's today, Tim?
No, it's second. No, we are not alone.
We don't make all them movies up just because somebody's creative in Hollywood and knows how to write that.
No,
They're
no,
getting
they
this from
don't.
somewhere.
Let me leave you with this one, Dan.
Okay.
I was in a meeting, and I'll just leave it at that. It's a meeting because I have a lot of meetings. Yeah, and if that was allowed to be told in the public, the wheels would come off. They would come off because every detractor was put in their place. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it has to come out. 2 Somali American judges arrested in Minneapolis dawn raid. 3.25 tons of cocaine and 1.5 billion judicial fraud network exposed. Well, good work. Good work, Kash Patel. Elon Musk, true. Infiltration of the judiciary throughout the West is the greatest long con of the left. Yes. Elon's spot on. And look at this guy. Americans across the country are demanding Matt Gaetz be made the new attorney general. Well, he didn't. Remember, he wasn't voted in because they knew he was going to kick butt. It should make you not wonder why nothing gets done, because they only let people in that will do their duty. So sick. Look at this kitty cat. Got into the fluff. Uh-oh.
You're ridiculous. Gosh, what did you do? You got caught, little thief.
Fluff.
You're just making it worse. You're ridiculous.
There he is. Look at that. Here's McCaslin. Look at this. This is the newly released 911 call from Susan Wilkerson, the wife of missing Major General Neil McCaslin. Let's listen to what his wife has to say. There's a different last name.
This is April. How may I help you? Hi, April. My name is Susan Wilkerson. My husband is missing. Okay. And it's been about 3 hours, and I have some indication that he must have planned not to be found. He's left his phone. He changed his clothes into I don't know what. I think he's on foot. All of our cars and bicycles are in the garage. I left for a doctor's appointment at about 11:10, and he was here at that time at the house. And I got back from that at noon, and he was gone. He turned it off and left it behind, which seems kind of deliberate because he's always got his phone. He has a smartwatch. I don't know if that's with him or not.
Has he ever done this before?
Never. Nothing even remotely like it. He's a retired Air Force Major General. He's very responsible, but he's also facing some medical issues.
Do you have any video at your home?
No.
Has he been diagnosed with any mental disorders or anything like that?
Well, we've been seeing a doc for both physical and mental in terms of anxiety, short-term memory loss, lack of sleep. The same doc I went to see today.
Does he carry any weapons on him?
Well, not generally. He does have a gun safe, and I went to look in the gun safe to see if anything was missing, but I couldn't tell if anything was. He has quite a number of pistols and rifles. Other than saying if his brain and body keep deteriorating, he didn't want to live like that. But it seemed to me that was just a, man, I hate how this is going kind of thing, because I told him, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Okay. We're going to send some deputies up to talk to you, see if you can search a little bit and see what's going on, okay?
Sure. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Isn't that interesting? Wow. Oh, fun fact for the day. First black Democrat senator, 1993. So progressive. First black Republican senator, 1870. That's 1870. 1870. Sorry, Democrats. Republicans beat you to the punch there. Yeah. Oh, look at this. Dried up prune, Bruce Springsteen, new album cover. Dried up prune. That's what Trump said about him. Cat turd. Thanks, cat turd. Fraud in California. Surely you can't be serious. I am Shirley, and it's serious. That's great. That is so good. Why didn't I think of that? MAGA voice. Yeah. And Trump put this up. Pam Bondi is a great American patriot and a loyal friend who faithfully served as my attorney general over the past year. Pam did a tremendous job overseeing a massive crackdown in crime across our country, with murders plummeting to their lowest levels since 1900. We love Pam, and she will be transitioning to a much needed and important new job in the private sector, to be announced at a date in the near future. And our Deputy Attorney General and a very talented and respected legal mind, Todd Blanche, will step in to serve as acting Attorney General. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. Oh, look at this. Chickens eating popcorn. It's a popcorn party. What a great idea. Look at this. What a fun idea. Wow, popcorn party. That's crazy. That is crazy. Colorado Appeals Court throws out. Yeah, we already talked about that. Peter Ducey talking about Pam Bondi. It took 11 years defending himself over one story. This is what they do to people who hold them accountable. Nobody held accountable because the people who have the power to do so are afraid of the retaliation. But David is different. His love of truth was greater than his. Breaking. Final charge dismissed against David Dalidian for exposing Planned Parenthood aborted baby part sales. Yeah, can you imagine that? Breaking something like that and them coming after you for it? So evil. Such an evil system we have here. So much of it is evil. And look at this. Moneypenny put this out. Full uncut Bob Lazar video, Area 51, UFO craft technical propulsion analysis. This is what he did back 89, 88, 89. But I highly recommend it. We're not going to watch it now, but it's very good. This is a cleaned up version, so it's better quality. But he goes over everything that he learned. It's very interesting. Same story for all these years since 1988, 89.
Hi, I'm Bob Lazar. During late 1988 and early 89,
I work on the propulsion systems of extraterrestrial vehicles for the United States government. The hardware and technology I was exposed to should be placed in the proper hands of the scientific community, and it is the right of every person on Earth to know that there is physical evidence which proves that there is life elsewhere and that at least one form of that life has been here. For those of you whose information about me is limited to this video, I'll give you a brief background. I'm a physicist. I have degrees in physics and electronics technology. I've worked in a number of scientific programs, some of which require top secret and above top secret security clearances, of which the most easily verifiable is my early 1980s job here at the Los Alamos Mason Physics Facility in Los Alamos, New Mexico. Between December of '88 and April of '89, I worked as a senior staff physicist in what has to be the most secret project in history. My place of work was a facility at an area known as S4 on the Nellis Air Force Range in central Nevada. Area S4 is located approximately 15 miles south of the infamous Area 51 installation at Groom Lake, where the U-2 and SR-71 spy planes were developed. For the duration of my employment at S4, I was paid by the United States Navy. For the purpose of this video, I'm going to segregate the information contained here into two separate parts. The first part will deal with information with which I've had hands-on experience and personal instruction. In other words, not only did I read briefings and not only was I taught the theories of these technologies, but they were demonstrated for me and I know they are true and accurate.
So there it is. It's 30 minutes. I highly recommend it. Ozempic has officially stopped being a magic pill and is now shredding bones. Look at that. Pills cause ills and shots make you shot. That's what I say. 1963, homeowner in central Turkey uncovered a narrow opening while renovating his basement and led into this huge underground dwelling area. Look at this. Beautiful. Wow. Look at that. It's just crazy. Crazy. Well, it's this. Now that Artemis 2 has launched, 10 days on Earth to get everyone on Earth in a Planet of the Apes costume. So we can do something hilarious when the astronauts return. Yeah, all of us dress up like apes. We should do that. We should do that. There's more missing stuff. Let's listen to this short little thing.
It's hard to talk about dimensions, but I was standing behind an alien in a spacecraft, just a small one, which I understand get bigger and smaller depending upon. At any rate, he said, "You shouldn't be here." And I said, "I know, I realize this is a strange place, but before I go, could I ask you a question?" And this is really a very strong memory in my head. I don't remember what I had for dinner last night, but this is in there. I'm telling myself I'm silly again. Dude, it's not in there. At any rate, and he said, "Okay." And I said, "How do you get from here to Alpha Centauri?" We can't do that. The only thing that we think about is, I have to go really fast for a really long time. How is it that you can go to Alpha Centauri without any problem? And essentially he said, "You wouldn't understand." So I said, "I agree that that's a problem. However, I know that you have access to my mental thoughts." I mean, you're not talking to me with your mouth. You have access to my mental thoughts, and I understand that. Can you use what information I have in my head and try to explain it to me? And he said, "Well, do you know what a Rubik's Cube is?" And I said, "Oh yeah, my son can do them in 2 minutes." He says, "Okay, so imagine a Rubik's Cube, but not necessarily just the 6 sides. Just imagine the concept of a Rubik's Cube." And I said, "Okay. Now imagine on each one of the tiles on the Rubik's Cube has a chart of the elements, an elemental chart." And you say, "Oh yeah, I know what that is. I've had science in school and everything." He says, "Now, on each of the other 5 surfaces, there's also elemental charts." And I said, "So, okay, but what's the deal?" And he said, "Well, you're thinking about going that way very fast for a very long time. What he didn't say to me, which I'm thinking right now, there's no space and time. I'm only thinking that right now. That wasn't part of the explanation. And he says, so what you do to get up to Alpha Centauri is you just twist the cube. And I said, what do you mean? He said, well, I told you you wouldn't understand. And he said, when the periodic table occurs in a different place, you're at that place. And that's just a very crude explanation. But you have to stop thinking about go that way for a long time very fast. It doesn't work.
Isn't that interesting? Oh, look at this. Tiger Woods' parking method is gaining popularity. Look at this. Oh, parking. Like a glove. Like a glove. Breaking: Elon Musk has purchased Lucasfilm Limited. Is this true? $2.74 billion. Tesla and SpaceX CEO acquires iconic Star Wars studio in surprise $2.74 billion deal. Look at that. Well, I think he'd do a better job than Disney has done. I was at Lucas Ranch to preview the movie Willow because I worked on the second year toy line, which never came out. And it was really amazing. It was such a cool experience. And when the lights dimmed down, Lucas came into the theater. He never made a public appearance except for that when it was dark. And he went to sit by his daughter because his daughter was part of the Brownies. They had Boy Scouts and Brownies there. And I think that's why the little characters, the little people, are called Brownies, because his daughter was a Brownie. So that's cool. Lucasfilm. Oh, let's listen to Matt Gaetz talking about aliens again. To this guy.
We've seen some patterns emerge that are absolutely a threat to national security, whether this is of human origin or not. Look, we have members of Congress who believe that not only are there extraterrestrials on Earth, but that they have built bases and that they are operating out of bases. I have personally met with people in uniform for the United States military who believe that there are hybrid breeding programs going on right now. Now, I've not seen evidence to suggest that all of those things are accurate, but when those claims arise, I get hot under the collar when we just don't get straight answers. We've seen some patterns emerge.
Okay. I might have to be going here, folks. I want to thank you all for stopping by. And because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. So keep your cameras pointed to the skies so you can take a picture of that crazy UFO and come on to the Truth Quest and talk all about it. And we would love for that to happen. Don't you know? Yes. Okay. Thank you all so very much. Thanks for coming along. Thanks for sharing it out. Thanks for giving me a old thumbs up to help the algo rhythm and the algo beat and all those algo things. And Kathy says, good night, everyone. And Valeronian says, thank you, Aaron. You're welcome, buddy. And Dark Brain says, that was a fun show. Well, thank you very much, Dark Brain. I really appreciate that. I always try to make it a fun for everybody. And Operation Shutdown says, thank you, Aaron. I will keep my camera pointed to the sky. Awesome. And Valeronian says, good night, fellow Truth Questers. And Dark Brain says, everyone, have a blessed weekend. It was great seeing you all. Yes, and happy Easter. Oh, look, it's at the BK is here. Hello, at the BK, fellow Mound West Tonka alumnist. There you go. She says, Happy Easter. Happy Easter to you too, buddy. And Dark Brain says, great to see you all tonight. Have a blessed weekend. And Cap 78 Pack Peggy Dancer says, thanks for the show tonight, Aaron. Prayers up for Evan and Chloe. And you too. Peace in. Much love. Happy Resurrection Weekend. Thank you, Peggy. Appreciate that. And Dark Brain says, Happy Easter. And with that, I'm going to have to say goodbye, folks, because I hear kids. And I got to go take care of grandkids. We'll see you next time, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, because we're just on Range of Strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. All right. We'll see you on Monday after the great weekend here. And 9 p.m. Central. Until then, peace in. That's world peace, baby. It's coming, and we're ready for it. Don't you know? Thank you very much. We'll see you on Monday.